Trishy TV, and welcome to the third episode of Thursdays with Toni.
And Trish.
Thank you so much again for all the love and support you've continuously been giving us for the first two episodes. And since we've been more of serious for the first two episodes, we're thinking of toning things down a bit. So for today, we will be doing a throwback Thursday where we will be talking about our memories from college. So as you know, we've mentioned that Trish and I actually met in college and became best friends in college. So to start things off, this is one thing that I don't actually recall. And I'm pretty sure Trish still has this on her mind. So Trish, do you recall how we actually started being close?
Of course, it's still, it's still fresh to me, everything, every detail. But basically, just to cut the story short, we officially met in Polygov class. It's politics and governance. But I saw you first before that semester. I can still remember how beautiful your hair was. It was long and silky. And I told myself that girl is going to be my best friend. So when we became classmates, I memorized part of the Philippine Constitution just to impress you because I really wanted us to be friends. And well, it was worth it. Fast forward, we're now BFFs.
I know. That's so funny. I'm so glad we've been best friends because of our school.
Yeah, and do you still remember the first few people that you met during the orientation? Are you still in touch with them?
I do. I recall when I went into the auditorium, I sat beside this girl who I thought at that time was kind of snobbish. And fast forward to a few months and a few years in college, we actually became so close. I spent most of my junior year with this girl, and eventually after college, we became travel buddies. So this girl's actually Cami. So shout out to you, Cami. I'm so glad to have met someone like her because she's a traveler, and being friends with a traveler is also an advantage because you get to see life more when you travel. Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
So Trish, I know we've shared before that our parents have been strict when you were in college, but despite that, I do know that we were able to enjoy some campus activities inside and outside. Do you still recall any activity you've been in that has stuck to your mind throughout the years?
Actually, wala kasi di ako pinayagan. I go to school, then go home straight. But there was this one time when we went to Robinson's. I think that was my first club because we had a long break, I think, before our next class. And I can still remember how it felt liberating and ang saya mag-jeep with you.
Exactly. And I recall that's the first time, and I was actually hesitant to ask you, like, girl, are you okay with this? We're gonna ride a jeepney, you're gonna commute and all that. And since you agreed, like I recall to compensate, when we returned to campus, I said, okay, I'll get us a cab. We'll go get a cab going to school. That was so funny. But yeah, it
Thank
was,
you for paying for the club.
of course, despite our very little allowance for school that time. Good times, good times.
Yeah. And speaking of, old memories, what were some of the memorable words you've heard from a professor that you can still remember up to this day?
So there was this class, I think it was algebra, and I often sit in the front row because I want to hear the professor better. And the professor was actually writing something on the board, and then when he faced the class, he called out someone saying like, "The nerve of you to brush your hair in front of class." And I didn't realize because I didn't know what was going on at the back. And then he made a comparison, and I felt so humbled when he said, it would have been okay if your class performance is like Miss Chu's." And I'm like, sir, that was so flattering. Thank you so much for recognizing me as a good student of yours. But that's very memorable because I know that professors also appreciate when they know that students are really learning and performing in class, that is. So shout out to Sir Santi. Hello. Oh,
Too bad for the girl though.
yes,
But
yes.
yeah, but I'm happy for you. You were such a good student. That's why I
Thank you.
was challenged, mentally challenged, academically challenged because of you. I couldn't
Uh,
keep up with my best friend. Well, it was a good competition,
it
by the
was.
way, so it's
Yes,
okay.
yes, of course,
Yeah.
of course. Thank you. And
Yeah. Anyway, you were the outgoing one, right?
uh,
Just wanted to
yeah.
ask you, since you were really such an extrovert during college. I
Mhm.
always see you outside talking with people, talking with different college students, sometimes guys. But was there a school organization that you joined that not many people know of?
I think during that time, well, my blockmates were aware of because I was able to mention it. But when I came into adulthood, not many people know that I actually joined the pep squad, although it's just for a short time. The funny thing is that the only motivation I had joining the pep squad was because I can eventually become a scholar, and who wouldn't want to save on tuition fees, right? However, I did not have any background in cheering or pep squad because my background was mainly dance. So imagine I tried out for 2 weeks. I stayed there for a month, and a lot has happened. Like I, that's the reason why I was able to go to like a volleyball game of our school because we had to cheer, and then I learned how to split, girl. I never learned how to split when I was in the dance troupe in high school. And girl, when you go to pep squad, you have no choice. They literally will press your shoulders just so you can do the split. I learned how to do handstands, how to push up when in a handstand. That's crazy. However, I had to quit because it eventually affected my health and my grades. My health because trainings were almost every day and it ends around 11 or 12 midnight. And you have like an 8 a.m. class the following day. And when you go home, you still have assignments to do. So it eventually affected my grades, and my father told me to quit. But yeah, it was a fun experience. So Trish,
Good for you.
thank you. So Trish, we've been sharing fun stories, very goody two shoes stories, but I do know that we had some silly memories as well, and I want our viewers to know some of that. And I recall this one time, and I know we only knew each other then for probably a few days, and there was this event for Valentine's, speed dating, which we were totally newbies, but we joined anyway. Do you recall anything from that event?
Yeah, we met different college guys, and I remember how it felt. It was awkward and funny. And I think I started my career as a wing woman during that event because I referred my guy friends to you. Yeah, so it was a fun experience, but at least it was a safe zone for us since we're
Mhm.
just inside the school. But yeah, it was memorable. I think we became close there as well.
I would definitely agree when you said that that started your wing woman career because you referred someone to me. I will never forget. Thank you for caring for my heart as early as those days.
Or and Tony, was there an instance, since
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about, our naughty side this time,
Mm-hmm.
besides speed dating, was there an instance or a situation where you came late to class just because?
Yeah, well, I think we would agree that we were both the type of students who would follow the rules as much as we can because, well, that's how we were raised. But there was this professor who was very kind to let students not be considered late if they arrive like within the first 30 minutes of class when it started. So me, Cami, Nicole, and Lala were classmates in that subject, and we often eat someplace nice before that class. And we make use of that time every once in a while to maximize our break so that we can, slowly eat our food and enjoy it. So it was fun times because normally I wouldn't really do that because I wouldn't want to be late, but it was fun. So, how about you, Trish? I'm curious. Was there ever a time that you actually forgot to submit an assignment or, you know, forgot about a deadline?
Um, I did a paperwork last minute kasi akala ko submit ko na nga siya. Yun pala, next week na yung due. So, ang dating, ako yung naunang nagpasa. So, I was a Jollibee back then. Bida-bida.
But hey, I'm pretty sure you got good grades for that.
Start.
That was so funny, girl. And since that's already hilarious for me, but I'm curious, do you have any embarrassing moments at all inside a class or inside the campus?
NSFW. Well, 10 minutes before the start of our night class, I think it
Mhm.
was my first night class with you.
Okay.
When I told you I wanted to buy cheesecake ice cream. So
Mhm.
we rushed into a mini stop to buy it and went straight to our classroom after. And as soon as we went in the classroom, I immediately regretted buying ice cream kasi harap tayo nakaupo. So it was awkward kumain ng ice cream sa harap ng prof. Tapos pinuna pa tayo ni sir, diba? So parang, in a funny way. But I'm glad he became so nice to us during that moment. And he let me eat that ice cream. So,
Yeah, but it
hi, sir.
wasn't. But yeah,
Hi, sir. And if you're watching,
hi, sir.
long rat.
But yeah, it was indeed awkward because I recall, even if we can eat inside the classroom, as much as we can, we should not because it's kind of distracting as well, whether it's smelly or not, right? But yeah, ice cream is ice cream. And I mean, girl, even if it's just cheap, if we'll think about it now, during that time, we spent a few peso buying that ice cream. So
Yeah. That's true. Well, Tony, was there ever a time when you came in late and learned that there's a surprise quiz and you're totally unprepared?
there was. And although this particular professor, like level set at the first meeting that he's the type that always has surprise quizzes or like that he has quizzes every meeting. I arrived, I think, like 5 to 10 minutes late during that time, and when I came in, everyone was so serious. Everyone was browsing their notes, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, there's a quiz." What I did was I immediately went through my notes, and lucky for me, coming from a Chinese school, during that time, I got great memorization skills. And since the quiz is just an identification or enumeration type, I think, well, I'll ace this one. So it's a 60 item quiz. And unfortunately, there was two items that I was not able to see properly in my notes. However, I was so glad because when we exchanged papers and, corrected them, I got the highest score, and I even got a higher score compared to our straight A students, which is just wow for me. I mean, good job, self. So I got like 58 over 60, and it was a nice experience, and I got a good grade too from that class. So
Good for you. I'm so happy. You're so
thank you.
smart.
No, no, I'm girl. Thank you, but I think what really helped me in college as well is the memorization skills I acquired from Chinese school. So thank you, parents. That is so funny. Trish, I know we've shared quite a number of memories, but I'm curious to know any takeaways from your college memories or any reminders that you would want to share to our viewers.
Boys are cute, but books first before boys.
But that's true though. That's true though. I mean, Right? Right? I mean, we wouldn't be here if we chose boys.
Of course.
Definitely. Probably for me, I think I somewhat made the most out of my college stay, but I hope that those who are in college or gonna be in college will not take the entire experience for granted. I mean, of course, it's good if you'll get good grades, but please don't forget to live in the moment, make friends, join organizations, make connections. At the end of the day, whether you'll bring those friends out of college and into adulthood or not, that's fine. The reality is that, making the most out of your stay in university or in college will be very, very rewarding. And at least you'll have something to laugh at when you grow old, just like us now. Right?
Yeah. True. Oh my gosh, I miss college.
I know, I know. And so I think that's all the time that we have for today. Thank you so much, guys, for listening or for watching this video. And we hope to have you again in our future episodes. Again, this has been Thursdays with Toni.
And Trish.
Bye. Take care.
Thursdays with Toni
And Trish.